Entering the Pat Mayo Experience.
Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience. Pat Mayo Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, the season finale of the PGA Pick Show. We'll still be running DraftKings shows for all the swing season contests. And again, tomorrow, Rick Gaiman will be on to try to break down the interesting strategy for the Tour Championship. But myself and Geoff Fienberg are in studio to talk about Eastlake. If people want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, Geoff, you know how they do that? Do you?
I certainly do.
Yeah, you smash the like button for the episode, you leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section and tell me who you think is going to win this week. Win the FedEx Cup. That's the draw. There's no listener league this week because
It's a
who cares
come on.
kind of thing. I'm interested in the DraftKings strategy surrounding this.
That's fun.
And I'm going to dig into this with Rick tomorrow a little bit more extensively, but I just don't think it's... No, like, it's a 30-man field to begin with, so that sucks.
Agreed.
And then we have these like bizarre scoring rules.
Agreed.
And the DraftKings price, like Justin Thomas is like 16,000.
I would think, I mean, I'm not like a model man, but I would think you've just got to fly, just be crazy with your builds.
I don't know what that's why I really want to talk to Rick. I think he'll have a better sense of like the game theory behind it. But like, do you take Justin Thomas or do you not take Justin Thomas?
It's really interesting to see how they're quantifying the value of those things.
Yeah, well, they all start
those strokes.
and like I said, I'll dig into this more tomorrow with the actual DraftKings stuff. But like, Justin Thomas starts with a bonus of 30 points because he's in first place. He doesn't get credit for the birdies to get him to 10 under, but he gets credit for being 10 under.
But
that's why he's priced up.
But that can change in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he loses the lead. He loses if he goes from if Cantley swaps with him, Cantley gets 10 and Justin Thomas loses 10.
I don't care enough. I do a podcast about this thing every week. I'm here, right? We're here. We do this. I don't care enough to get upset about it because I feel like the sport really never sleeps. Right? It's
as you said before the show, we've now had a WGC, 2 playoff events, and a major over the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, 5 weeks. The Wyndham was the only thing that wasn't. Am I wrong? Am I forgetting something?
No, I think you're dead on.
So,
with
like,
that.
we've seen these guys. They've played a lot. It's not like I'm jonesing to see them. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there could be some high drama, but for a Monday morning, it's a bit annoying. But I'm also like on a bit of a heater and I'm seeing the board well. So I want something fresh to look at. Much like DraftKings, you pick your own poison. The books are very well aware. I feel like how silly this is. And they know that, how do I put this? They just know like to like something or really want a piece of this. You just really need your like golf bet and crack to really want a piece of this. With the points involved board.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you said that there are alternate boards where it's just whoever wins.
Books,
I'm not seeing those right now.
The books we have access to, unfortunately, haven't posted that yet. But there are odds to win without the FedEx Cup starting point points. I'm seeing a lot of people that I personally like to read or trust.
Well, it's all British guys, right?
Yeah, they've posted sort of their early thoughts on this event, and all their tips are coming from that board. The without FedEx Cup points. And the Hideki 20-1 on that seems to be a consensus amongst the early British tipsters, if you're seeing that. By the time that board probably pops in North America, Hideki will probably have been... bet down, but you could see maybe why you'd think that.
Yeah, Hideki was the only player in the FedEx Cup finals last year at the Tour Championship at Eastlake to post a bogey-free round. He's the only guy. His second round, 66, which I thought was interesting. There are more ways to get into a draw for 20 bucks, by the way. And while this is the end of you and I talking about golf until the Tour Championship, or not the Tournament of Champions, I guess we'll probably talk President's Cup when that comes around. We're getting more you and Tim in our lives starting at the end of this week.
Yes, it's all happening.
So if you want to get into a draw for 20 DK bucks, we're trying to get to over 2,000 iTunes reviews before the start of football season. If we do that, I'll have some huge giveaways for the people to get in. Still no confirmation that there'll be a Pat Mayo Experience NFL Listeners League yet. I'm really trying to push it. I feel like we could do like 10K, 15K every week, no problem.
That's pretty
It's
awesome.
it's football. We did 10K for the Masters.
But it's kind of like, I don't know.
You have no idea like as popular as people think like this golf show is, and for golf, it is very popular, especially within the space. The NFL shows do like 5 times as many listens.
Football.
It's
People
football.
like melt to that thing.
Yeah, but
That monster that is.
the DFS Edge has its own listeners league. So I don't know if DraftKings wants to like give them one and give me one, and where theirs is established. Probably just keep with theirs. I don't know though. I want to keep it the same. 3 entries, $15 max, guaranteed money on the table. You get 10K in that. All of a sudden you're looking at like, and because it's rake free, 150K of guaranteed money every week. Tweet at DraftKings. Tell them you want a PME Open or a PME weekly NFL league, and maybe then they'll end up doing it. But if you leave an iTunes review, 5 stars, DraftKings handles something nice about the show, you'll be in a draw for 20 DK bucks, as you will if you follow me on Instagram and then comment on a golf or football or challenge picture with your DK handle, and you'll be in. Before we get to the big winners, and there were big winners from last week.
Huge winners.
Yeah, huge. The winners of the 20 DK dollars from last week. We have Adams with a Z, Crooked, Lefty Clutch, Amandi 76, JMac 0340, Windigo, and Jangle 1, all winners of 20 DK dollars. And shows coming up. So I'm going on vacation on Wednesday. So we're going to have like a dead week worth of shows, but I have more shows now than days to actually fill them with. So we're going to record the AFC and NFC win total show. I like to see that you're paying attention to me. That's very nice.
I am.
You're
and
definitely not paying attention.
Well, I'm working on contests. You're giving the schedule. We're recording the
I'm trying to get your
AFC and
input on it.
NFC.
You're just staring at Twitter.
There's something for the show that I want to bring up, so I want to have it on call.
What is it?
It's just a quote that Tiger made. It has to also do with the Adam Scott thing about some of these guys getting up there are a little bit sad about the way the game is going, potentially.
Because it doesn't favor them anymore. They're all upset.
Yeah, Adam's, pretty much.
Yeah.
But when Adam was, top 5 in the world perennially and equipment was making its advancements and courses were not making changes, he was making a lot of money.
He's still making a lot of money.
Yeah, and as many people have pointed out, he has a backup career to fall back on.
Yeah, male model.
So he should be less worried. But I don't know. It's just something that's in my notes, but I needed to get that.
So you find the quote. So me, you, and Tim will have both win total shows for football. We'll have the Custy Awards. That's already filmed. I have a Cuss Quarter in the bank ready to come out with me, Cust, and Gary. So there's going to be a lot of Cust coming up here in the next week. I also have a DraftKings strategy show with Mike Leone and Drew Dinkmeyer for the football season. If anyone out there actually wants to go and subscribe to dailyroto.com right now, which I do every single year, because I really enjoy the site. Makes everything really easy for me. Plus, Drewby Showdown article is up there, which is absolute must-read content. But it's behind that paywall. If you use the promo code THEPME, you get yourself 10% off any Daily Roto package. So dailyroto.com for that. I'm going to have Jake on to update the rankings for Wednesday Challenge preview, because Challenge starts next week, and we have a Challenge Fantasy League. So if you want to be in the free Challenge Fantasy League, just watch that show, go to the description, share that stuff around. I feel like I got something else too. Can't put my finger on what it is. There's no UFC this week, so Paul and Cody have the week off from the show.
That's remarkable.
They go more weeks than golf does.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the only sport on the planet that runs more than golf.
Yeah.
Outside of like Vince McMahon.
Yeah, we need to get like daily fantasy WWF. I don't know how you'd score it, but
No, I don't think so.
you don't think so? You don't think that would be popular
Like maybe for the mega events.
for like WrestleMania?
But there's just
You could
too
do a Royal
many-
Rumble one. Royal Rumble one would be fun. It'd be
Yeah,
like this stupid tournament.
There's just too many.
People that know what's going to happen.
Yeah, even though it is a small circle, once you're like DFS sharks get in there, I could see.
You can
You know
bet.
the
You
same-
can bet
Yeah, I know.
on wrestling.
Yeah, I know, but like a lot of the odds are like pretty insane too. There's rarely like a pick'em.
Hey, I bet Brock Lesnar to beat the Undertaker.
But
at
I
WrestleMania
would
at plus
find
money.
I would enjoy, and I guess like people really in the DFS would know, but like you know how some of these beat writers get so triggered by getting asked questions.
Oh my God.
Like line questions, like the hockey beat writer, like it's not my job to tell you who's playing with who. Like to see people bugging like Dave Meltzer for their like DFS
Our guys John Pollock and Wade Tim would just be getting blown up on Twitter all the time.
You would have Pollock you'd have Pollock on for a show.
I'd love to have Pollock on anyway. And people, if people love wrestling, just subscribe to Post Wrestling. It's awesome. Those two are the best. You can tell like we're not super jazzed about this tournament.
Well,
you know what I am super jazzed about though? The amount of money that was won by people that watched this show, and the amount of money that was won by you.
Yeah, I've done.
Is this 5 out of 6 weeks you've had a winner?
No, you'd have to go back then because I stopped counting, but it's been good.
You had Reed last week.
Yeah.
Well, you just hit Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
You had Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
You had Poston in play
yeah.
at over 100 to 1.
Yeah.
You didn't have Lowry.
No, and I didn't have Brooks won the WGC. Didn't have any part of that.
But then you had
Fratelli, I think, was the one before that though. But what was?
And you had that.
What was? Yeah, I don't know. We're going back.
So you had 4 of 6.
Okay, that was right before that.
Yeah, that was the John Deere Classic. Good. That was the week before.
And I thought when I hit the Fratelli and Wiesberger in the same day, I thought that.
Hey, and you hit Wiesberger.
I thought that I got to end right now, especially when Lowry and Brooks won. But when 2 favorites win, that's when we see the big doubles. And then some people had the crazy balls to throw Schaeffler into them, which was a great pick. And Adonis, right? Did I get that right?
You got that right this time. I didn't see a triple, though.
No, I didn't see the Scheffler-Peters triple, but I saw there. I guess it was popular enough where people did put it with Justin. But the fact that Peters won and Justin won, I saw a bunch of those. And when you get 2 guys like favorites winning, I guess that can kind of happen. Peter's first win in 3 years. But yeah, a lot of people cleaned up.
5th year in a row, a player with the last name P has won the Czech Masters. Starting with the letter P.
Oh, okay.
That's why I went with Pepperell as a part of my doubles instead of Peters. That didn't really work out. So here's the fun part about last week.
Hold on, but if Hovland won...
if Hovland won, we were all millionaires.
The books closed down.
But he did not win.
No. But the plan is he will.
Yeah, the plan is he will eventually win here. Probably this week, hopefully.
Yeah.
So I made Justin Thomas my cover guy last week for the column. He was the guy I wrote up on my PGAtour.com video. I just hyped up Justin Thomas. You got to take Justin Thomas. On my DraftKings lineup, 80% Justin Thomas. You know what I didn't do? Bet Justin Thomas. All of my doubles had Justin Thomas. And they all lost because they all had Hovland. And they all had Pepperell. So I'm sitting here like a goober telling people JT is going to clean house. I look at the odds. Same thing as last week. Look at the Reed odds. Be like, I'm done with Reed. Yeah, those odds, they're too short for Justin Thomas. I don't want to bet that. I'll bet Cantlay. I'll bet Hideki instead. And they come 2-3.
It was.
I did end up winning because the Hideki each way paid enough to like cover me by just a bit. But like, I feel like a fucking moron.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel like the show ended and I like literally said, I'm betting Justin Thomas right now.
And you did.
And yes, I did.
Because we talked about how he was probably going to win.
And it's funny. I don't even know why I had to add people to the card because the only guys I bet for the show last week were Hideki and Justin. Now, granted, I filled the card with some of my staple
had
losers.
Ricky and Finau.
And sort of between the show, because you were big on Canlu, Justin was talked about. Hideki, we were both very high on.
Like my DraftKings teams were fucking fire this week. If Shez Reavie hadn't have blown up in rounds 3 and 4, could have won some serious cash.
Now, maybe because it was a no-cut event, but I really scale. Like, I don't play a ton in non-in-cut events, but that is definitely my preference. In no-cut events, I scale back my limited DK exposure to begin with. But I had a fantastic. I mean, look at my pick. Look at my picks. Yeah, I did fine. Because I've even acknowledged with you, I'm like an all-in guy. Like, I don't, I'm picking this guy and I'm DKing with that guy. No. Like, when I bet on you, I'm DKing you. That's just how I go. And it's all about for weeks like yesterday. And even the week before.
Sure. And hopefully this week somehow, too.
Getting some sleep with a night nurse, I tell you.
Yeah, so, well, you can afford it now. The big winners this week. So here are some winners that we got here. I'll get to the big one at the end because it's a nice way to really like close out the huge season. Chris Burrell hit the Justin Thomas Peters double. Da-Dum-Dum, who tails a ton of the picks, he hit JT, hit Scheffler, and the Hideki each way. It's a big week. All good for 1,000, like 250. Mike 1290 hit the Thomas Peters, Justin Thomas double. Paul hit Justin Thomas. He hit Scotty Schaeffler and the Hideki each way, and he won $13,000 on DraftKings. Shout out to him.
Wow.
I really suggest everyone become a no week so far this year. I mean, it's basically spit out in my, I did my long-term adjusted rankings and my custom modeling. So either my stats were right or Fantasy National really pointed me in the right way. But 3 of the top 4 were Cantlay, Justin Thomas, and Tony Finau, I believe. And then Hideki was like 5th. Dustin Johnson was the only one that spit out. But I know that we're ending right now, but this swing starts up super quickly.
Crazy.
Greenbrier in like 2-3 weeks, something like that. Like, get your annual. I think we're going to have like a promo code or drop the price for Fantasy National if you want to get an annual membership. You're going to use it every week anyway. Just get the annual membership, honest to God.
Agreed. Cosign. I'm going to not like this new schedule next week. I don't like that the no golf week overlaps with we're not in NFL yet. Like, I'm going to really feel it. I'm going to be jonesing.
Why do you think I'm taking this is the week that I'm going on vacation?
No, I get it. I get you, dude. You had a baby around like an optimal period.
We did not miss a single event this year.
Yeah, of course. And that was, I think, Torrey Pines week, maybe.
Yes, because I came back as Tiger was playing.
But I just want to say, even the birth of your baby was around like the post Super Bowl early chill out period of golf football.
Yeah,
so
very much planned too. Just
no
to make
coincidence.
Sure I would have that down. Wilborn Hughes hit his second double in 4 weeks. His $1 bet on Justin Thomas and Scotty Schaeffler paid out a clean $746. Carlos Collado hit JT, the Decky each way, and the Arnis each way. It's a nice triple up there.
Arnis would have been big. There were so many
doubles.
He was I don't know about the doubles, but he was an incredibly popular. He was like universally touted last week.
Well, he came inside the
Almost
top 5.
Lost by 1.
So he cashed them each ways. I think he lost by 2 when all was said.
No, he hit one. He birdied
he?
18. Yeah.
Bulb hit JT for $1,700. Max Parker turned JT's 14-1 into $2,600. Jerry Peterson threw $10 on a JT Scotty Schaeffler double, won $7,600. Troy Hewitt turned $3 into $250 on DK. It's a very good ROI. Joe Weaver turned JT into $1,400. Like I mentioned, he had the Hovland Peters JT triple. Fuck if Hovland could have won. Yeah. Think about how many winners there would have been then.
I think Wiley would have never been seen of again.
Well, I thought Wiley needed the Paul Casey top 5.
But I think that was like his huge one.
Oh, okay.
I think he probably had some like lower bullet crossovers.
Chris turned 24 into $300 on DK. Dave Jensen hit the JT winner. NJR won $1,250 on DraftKings. Cameron Levine hit the JT outright. David Decker turned 60 into $443. Golf Pat hit the Kokrak first round leader. Gavin Green first round leader. A JT Scotty Schaeffler double for $11,400.
Insane. J Maz, I think his name is. He's also been on the outright and the first round leader run. It's been a lot of
mid-tier first round leaders, like the 50 to 70 to 1 guys. Not my range. I didn't even play first round leaders last week. Riku finally got back on the winning streak. He
lost for like a month, right?
He hit like 4 winners in a row. Then he lost for a month, but then he hit Justin Thomas and Scotty Schaeffler for a combined $3K. CMV56411, not a bot, apparently, turned JT to $2,400. Shout out Scott Stewart, Stu Manji. Used the Fantasy National tools for Showdown, turned $8 into $93. Good for a low stakes player. You know what I mean? Really prop up that bankroll. So that's a big win for the Showdown contest. But the big winner of the week, WCS1, the DraftKings $1 million main event for $200,000. Life-changing money. That's legit life-changing money. Yeah. Even after you pay your taxes on it. It's amazing. So congratulations to all the winners out there. That's a big week of winning.
It's a big list.
We've had probably 3 weeks in a row now. People just reeling off.
There've been a lot. Like I've been like
good way to end the year. It's gonna suck people back in thinking we're good at this for next year.
Yeah, sure.
Not me, but you.
Sure. I don't know. Better to be lucky than good, but it's. I mean, the JT one was kind of like a live dart, but
you know what sucks? That I bet him for like 5 fucking weeks before this.
There have been the other guy too. There have been a lot of people that have been just as hot. I'm hot, but there are people out there like are scorching.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these winners have been
they make sense.
They're on the short list. Like even we said last week, this is one of the toughest events to win of the year. Nobody is going to win last week who hasn't shown signs of life. It is impossible at this time of year to win without signs of life. Now, this whole thing that's happening next week this week coming is its own monster. But these FedEx Cup events, when you've just played a major and a WGC, these premier elite players are like in tone. The guys that are playing well are playing well. The guys that aren't might play well, but they have no chance of getting to where the guys who are in form are. They just don't. And for a few weeks in a row now, they just keep popping. You cannot win without form. You can have a nice round, I'm sure, and a few guys did. But every guy that's won recently, we've seen it. There have been signs of life for weeks. For weeks. Reed, JT.
All JT needed to do was putt well,
yeah,
and he putted fine.
Pretty much since Hamilton, he's been on the precipice of putting it all together. He hasn't. Things have held him back, but you could see it was sort of building to that, much like Reed.
I'm shocked. I mean, someone actually asked me this. What's more impressive, that Hideki broke the course record coming into the week twice or Justin Thomas's round? Like Hideki, all you need to do is not be absolute trash on Saturday and you win.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people are making a lot of the beating the course took. But like Hideki, when a guy like Hideki Matsuyama has the greatest putting round of his life.
Yeah, he's going to scorch it. And Justin Thomas is holding out in the middle of the fairway.
Things are just, in the hole before he's chipping in for birdie. And then in between that, he's putting it in the water and saving par. Played a 3-hole stretch with a water ball of 4-2-2. I might have the order wrong a little there, but it was insane.
Anything else stick out from you? A lot of people kind of complain. I'm on board with this, that maybe it's because, I guess these people will be in the Masters anyway, but everyone who's made the Tour Championship qualifies for all 4 majors next year. That's part of being in it. Yeah. So Kokrak gets himself into the Masters. Glover gets himself into the Masters. Kokrak birdied the 72nd hole in order to get it.
Yeah, he knocked out. Who did he knock out?
I don't know. Cares. But he gets in. That's pretty amazing. It'll be his first time playing the Masters. But no Lowry, no Tiger. So 2 of the major champions are not at East Lake. Feel like if you win a major, you should get automatic entry to the Tour Championship. Even if you take like the last seed. You get places 31st and 32nd or something. You're just one of the even guys if you haven't qualified. Or maybe you start at +1.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it. Do you go above 30, like to make an exception so it can become 31 and 32?
They're the exceptions. Like you win, or just make the FedEx Cup points for majors worth more. Make them worth 1,000. Because I forget who it was, and someone made the point that there's a lot of guys on tour who would trade 3 PGA wins for a major, or 5 PGA wins for a major. The fact that they're worth 100 more FedEx Cup points is kind of ludicrous. And maybe even just top weight it. Be like, if you win, you get 1,000 FedEx Cup points. And that's essentially good enough to get you in, regardless of what happens to the Tour Championship, and just do it that way. How do you think this is going to work?
Listen, I'm like a pessimist by nature. So the Monday morning, I got a little bit of cold water. The head is spinning with ideas. Like, shouldn't it be a match play? Guys get buys. Even like the guys that get a buy, you could give them like a 2-hole lead in like their next match. I don't know. I know that's not the greatest TV.
It's bad. That's objectively bad TV.
No, I get it. It's we understand that. But now that Tiger's not here, maybe they like it.
Yeah.
Like, because they would want 18 holes of Tiger, 70 Tiger shots on a Sunday. Because that's just good TV, as much as some people don't like it.
Like when Tim was all triggered yesterday when we were talking to him.
Yeah, but now that's work. But now that he's not here, maybe it's not the dumbest idea. I have no.
Well, and the only reason that the case is made for the major winners qualify for the tour is because Tiger won a major and he's now no longer. Anything we can do to get Tiger playing more is we're going to try to bend the rules towards that.
But I also don't have like, I'm not like jonesing for it. I mean, he won here last year and hit it, and it was exciting. But I don't know. Like I said, we've seen him a lot.
Not really, though. He played far fewer times this year than they did.
No,
last
I
year.
mean in this package, it hasn't
Oh,
been
yeah, the
good,
past month or so.
But we've seen everybody a lot. There's no one that I'm like missing right now. There's no one that I feel like I'm left out for not seeing.
Yeah, I mean, you can even tune in early. We wake up early on a Thursday morning, tune into the Scandinavian Masters if you want to check out some Henrik Stenson.
Yeah, he's probably gonna maybe, and there'll be
Oh, don't worry, we're going over Korn Ferry and Scandinavian Masters.
But there'll be a handful of the books will be in trouble if like the Hovland Stenson double.
I
hits
might
this
just
week.
play the Hovland Stenson the double.
I've already bet Hovland big. I wish I thought about this double, but I've already like far too invested in that. We'll get there.
It's not like you don't have the money to play around with.
Do you think? I guess we'll see how great it becomes.
I have a feeling that this structure for a tournament is going to turn out better than people are like projecting onto. I think it's objectively better than it was.
Okay, that's fine. I'm only
so if we're taking steps in the right direction, it sucks from a betting perspective, yes.
And that's what we're here trying to do.
Sure, but in terms of the actual tour and how this works for a playoff system, this might not be optimal, but I do think it's better than having Tiger win the Tour Championship and then Justin Rose winning the FedEx Cup. Like, at least you need to win this tournament to win the FedEx Cup. There's not two winners.
I don't think that that's like the craziest thing in the world when you consider what the FedEx Cup is. It's an accumulation.
Yeah, but no one cares about that.
I
People want to see the
understand
guy who wins win 15 million. There's 15 the drama of $15 million on the line for this does mean something. If you have to win this tournament, not, oh, you know what? I need to 3-putt to come
Do you want to know why I think this changed? I think this changed because the 74-year-old guy who's into the Viagra, the cars, the Rolex commercials, who the Golf Channel and those, when the telecast is on, is catering to,
Can figure it out?
is confused when there's two different leaderboards during a tournament on Sunday at 4:30.
It's not the olds that are just the ones that were confused. I'm confused half the time.
But I don't care. Who cares?
I want to know who wins the $15 million.
It's not that like they're telling you. It's not like they're not.
Yeah, but you don't know how it. Okay, so if Justin Rose makes birdie on this hole, then this happens. If he makes par on this hole, this happens, and then the entire leaderboard's flipped. Like, I can't.
I understand.
I can't watch it and be like, okay, if this happens, here's what's going to happen. I have to retroactively figure out what happens and respond to it instead of being fired up for what's going to happen.
Fine. I don't mind what's happening. I think it's totally fair. Like, I was into American Gladiators as a kid before WWE Superstars on a Saturday morning, and if you played well in the contest, you got like a head start based on how well you played. That makes total sense.
If you are Wesley, 2 scoops, you get a 35-second head start.
I just didn't have a hard time figuring it. Like, I was able to cognitively figure it out while watching NFL football, what was going on both leaderboards in the past. I understand that was hard for some people. It didn't bother me as such. They've made a change. I'm not against it. It's a 30-man tournament. That's like silly to begin with. So they made for DFS purposes, they made like the worst place event for betting in DFS even more worse. Like, it's not a big deal.
Sure, like I'm saying, this is not the end-all be-all solution to this
We
tournament.
got a Greenbrier in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're not doing a show, but you'll have your full board. You'll have your full slate of contests. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and I'll have Rick on, and we'll break down the DraftKings pricing, and we'll throw up bets at the end. Just you and I, and Tim will be doing football betting shows. Those are more popular.
Exponentially.
And we do need to take a break from golf. Like, I'm a bit burnt out here. I'm not going to lie to you.
I was ready to see a board that I can attack right now because I'm like hunting.
You're feeling it. You're in the zone.
So that's my letdown, but I'm okay to not.
But like I said, I like that whoever wins this tournament wins the FedEx Cup.
That makes
that's
sense.
how it should be.
Fine. And they found a way. Is it even fair? I don't know. Is it worth?
Maybe the move is
why is there even a 2-stroke gap at the top?
I don't know about that. So I think that if we were to fix this and like try to make it optimal, that the winner of this event wins the FedEx Cup, but this is not the way to do it. Do you have any idea how we would fix that? Because my only solution to it would be to have a similar construct to this right now, where if you're leading the FedEx Cup, you get some sort of bonus going in, and then you play 2 rounds, or you play 3 rounds, whatever it might be. Let's say you play 2 rounds, the first 2. The top 4, top 8, after that, with the adjusted score, so Thomas would start at -10, the guys at even, the top 8 would then go to match play. And then you play it out. Like, your advantage.
Okay, fine.
Or top 4 and like whoever's in the top 4.
So then what you're kind of like battling really for those like last 3 spots.
Yeah, or you have to like, everyone's kind of like penciling in Justin Thomas
no.
that he's going to win.
Okay,
He has a
yes.
2 shot lead. We saw him blow this to JB Holmes in 4 holes
And
at Riviera.
I would like to say this. It happens. The guy I'm trying to figure out who should I bet is who's going to go out
I know
on,
who it is.
Hold on. Who's going to go out on Thursday and have the Hideki round from like Friday and go right from 45th place. I know there's only 30 guys, just right to the top. A few guys at the top have even par, 1 under rounds, and then he's 3 back or something.
Yeah. So
we see all the time.
Well, you kind of mentioned, I was talking about Fantasy National earlier, and we talked about this before the show. This is really the tournament where, if you're a Fantasy National member, hit those in-tournament play stats and just see who's lighting it up, who might have one of those rounds, and bet them.
I said to you, like, I don't know, it should, like, the real show should be, like, Thursday night. Because you kind of see, like, who's here. Well, we know who's here.
Who's shown up?
Who's shown up? Who's Fantasy National telling me hit, like, 16 greens in regulation today? Who, that shot 2 under, that tomorrow could go shoot 6 under. I don't know. This is just hard. There's a few people I have in mind. I don't love anyone's odds, although I will acknowledge there are 2 guys, very elite players who I believe are kind of in a fair spot, in my opinion.
All right, so here are the odds for the Tour Championship. Justin Thomas comes in at -10. He's plus 240 to win this event. Patrick Cantlay is -8. Plus 450. Brooks is -7. He's plus 550. Reed is 14 to 1 at 6 under. Rory is -5, but he is 8 to 1. So they're giving Rory a lot more credit than Patrick Reed. Those top 4 guys by Rick when he ran his simulations have over a 75% chance to win this event. Those 4 guys. And everyone else is like way down on the list. Then you got Rahm at 14, Webb, Xander, Dustin, all in the 20s, Scott, Finau, Hideki, Cooch, all in the 30s. Rose at 40, Ricky at 50, Woodland, Answer at 66. Then it's the Casey Kisners are all 70 and above, all the way down to Corey Connors. Played really well last week. It's 300 to 1. And he will start at -1. He's not even, I don't know why they're disrespecting Corey Connors so much. It's not even like he's one of the even guys. He's -1. He has the worst odds in the field.
As Timothy Frank said, this is all just some grand conspiracy to prevent Corey Connors from winning the FedEx Cup.
So I'm looking at this, and maybe the move is to find one of those boards like you mentioned where it's just strokes, but we don't have those yet, at least to my knowledge. I can't find any. I think that Rory at 8 to 1 or Reed at 14 to 1 is the bet.
Okay, 3 guys.
Like if we're talking about someone, because you have the one scenario where Thomas just doesn't play well, although he's never finished worse than T7 at this event.
And I think I'm worried about, just off the top, I mean, it's unbettable. You almost hope he plays poorly in the first round or something, and then maybe you want to bet him at a much bigger number or just even double that, whatever it might be. You almost hope guys catch him and then bet him live. What was I gonna say? Thomas historically, doesn't he like play really well with his wins? Like he doesn't disappear after
he gets hot.
Now, granted,
he's been hot.
Now, granted, maybe he won't be because like he's kind of been hot for a long time. We're lucky, sort of, he didn't win a while ago, but that's one of the reasons why I was happy. I mean, kind of stuck with him, bet him a lot in big events, to be honest, and finally he paid off. But because he's a guy that I can count on that form continuing, and now his form was kind of through the roof in a lot of respects. I don't know. I'm worried he's gonna play very well.
Yeah, and if he plays well, he's gonna win. He's already up by 2, and then
because there's other guys who can play great, but who are right there.
But then it's harder because the lowest winning score, I believe, at this course over the past 10 years is like -12. So that basically takes out all of the evens.
Yeah, that's realistic. That's
all the
3 under
-1s.
a day. Like essentially, if you are playing,
so it's hard for someone to go super low and sustain that because this course is pretty hard. It's only a par 70. It's longer than you'd think. There's a bunch of really difficult long par 4s.
And the maintenance crew there, I don't really know what they're about, but they might just be like, we'll show after last week because there's within the golf world, there's a lot of like conversation in the course setup world as it pertains to the PGA. A lot of people were not happy that a major championship venue got put to pieces. That being said, give the PGA Tour a major championship venue, they can still let guys shoot 24 under. You give that right to the USGA, to set up last week. I promise you it was a different event.
Sure. I don't mind Webb either. I don't like that he's only 20-1, but he starts at -4.
We got to back up.
We're back on Bermuda. The answer to the question of who can catch Justin Thomas and go blow people out is Rory. Just you need to have one of those. You need to target one of those guys who can have one of those rounds where everyone's shooting like 69 and 68, but he shoots 62. That's Rory. And Justin Thomas is probably the next closest guy to that conversation. So you have to hope it doesn't happen for Justin Thomas and hope that Rory's been really good at Eastlake over the years. He's won here before. He was T7. He was in the final group with Tiger last year. He's playing okay. The irons haven't been great for him, but if he's just going to go out and you need someone to go shoot that course record type round, he's the guy. He starts at -5. At least he's close enough. He's only 5 back.
Okay. So last night there were 3 guys whose odds I was chomping at the bit to see, and it was Rory, Reed, and Rahm. Because Rahm, you almost want him back, right? You almost want him in the chasing position. It's a little far though, 6, right? He's 6 back.
Mm-hmm.
I think
when you start breaking it down, what's the difference between 5 and 6?
Not at all. And Rahm's had some great starts to tournaments. He could turn 6 into 3. 6 back to start the day, 3 back Thursday night, you're feeling great. But there are 2 guys, to me, that I think actually in this craziness of it all and silliness maybe represent what's hard to say is value. One of them is Rory, because I do believe he, and as Rick pointed out, his percentage to win is flirting with like 15. Mm-hmm. And his course preference, and he plays well here.
Yeah, like Reed's at -6, but the reason he's getting no credit here is that in his past 5 starts at Eastlake, with only 30 people in the field, 28th, 13th, 24th, 27th, 20th. Which is
really strange because he is a Georgia guy. So I would hope that he's played there a lot, at least in the amateur golf. Before he was stealing watches or whatever.
For the game that he has.
But doesn't it work here?
No, I don't think so. There's a lot of...
Because bombers, but
there's a lot of water around, and it takes like really accurate long iron approaches.
And
the scrambling is pretty easy here. But you can't scramble, unless you're Bill Haas, you can't scramble from the water.
But the thing with Reed is we acknowledge it's like...
Reed can win here, yes. But I think of like all the courses that they see, this is one of the ones that really does not play to his skill set whatsoever. And like even years where he's come in and won the Northern Trust, he still has played poorly at Eastlake.
Okay, interesting. Just blindly, I would have thought the course actually does suit his not needing to...
No, think about like Northern Trust, where if you're going to be a guy that... And Reed, when he's running well, listen, when any of these guys run well, they're going to shoot really well. But for 72 holes, that's super tough. With someone like Patrick Reed, if he gets into a funk where he's not hitting like all the greens in regulation and he needs to get himself up and down, he can do that at certain venues, especially when it is difficult. Even when he won the Masters that year. Like, he wasn't hitting every green in regulation, but he got it up and down to a foot every single time.
Especially Sunday.
At Eastlake, there's just too much water to do that. And that's the one thing about Justin Thomas. Like, yes, he went absolutely lights out, but he was wild off the tee.
And you know what?
And if he does that here, he's in the middle of the water.
We were recording the Custies, and apparently he was in a hell of trouble. And I never looked at my phone when it was like 1 or 2 strokes, thankfully, because that would have tilted me during the Custies. But I did I saw it was 3 strokes, so he obviously got it all back quickly. He made a great par, a great bounce back birdie after his ugliness. The other guy, though, to me represents crazy value, but I just don't want to put $400 on a golfer, is Brooks Koepka.
Oh, really?
And I'll tell you why. 30-man event, everybody's even. Where's Brooks? 7.5 to 1? 8 to 1?
Yeah, 6 to 1, 7 to 1.
So now he's 3 up. Like, he's had a good first round. What do you want when you bet these super elite guys? You almost don't want them to lose the tournament on Thursday, because sometimes they can.
Yeah.
You just want them to right? And you know that they're winners and they'll get it done on the weekend. So he's off to the great start that you want. Granted, there are elite player who is 3 up on him. But if Brooks was in 3rd after a great first round in a big event, he would be this number. Or no, he would be shorter when he starts at 750. So to me, that's actually...
Starts off at 550.
No, but if in a real event...
Oh, yes, yeah.
At even, 8 if you're being generous...
Against 155 other guys instead of 29 other guys.
Yeah, and he is just so out. Like, he's stealing your big game trophies, and he's going to take the Brinks truck too. And I know he had some Twitter joke.
He also fired 5 under on Sunday. Let's not forget that.
He also murdered a guy on Twitter.
That guy's dead.
And that guy gives a.
You ruined my $1 bet on you, Brooks Koepka. How dare you?
I don't even mean to go there, but I saw that name and I'm like, you give all Jewish people a bad name. This guy complaining to Brooks Koepka that he lost probably a $5 like token. It was like a Rosen or something. It was like a blatantly like that's what. Yeah.
He's making you look bad, is what you're saying.
No, because listen, you want to bash a player. How did Brooks do that? Yada yada. Or Brooks looks bad today. You could like say their name on Twitter, but to actually like at a professional athlete to me and then be like, you sorry, like get your head out of your ass. That is the lowest form of human in my little world of like sports. People can do far more grotesque things in real life.
Sure. Yeah, of the gambling and daily fantasy online
Niche
community. That is
like the worst place human being to me. They're all winners. I get it. You're mad he didn't play well.
Imagine being that big of a coward.
So I think Brooks is going to go Brinks truck it. Like, I don't know, but I just don't want to bet that kind of money.
I'm just looking back at Brooks's final round here. And if people don't know this, on Fantasy National, you can actually click round by round to see how people did. He had 4 strokes putting. He was actually better the other days, just couldn't putt. And then...
But do you not agree this is like...
This sets up really well.
No, but I mean like the line... There are not many...
Per line value, yes, you're absolutely right. That if this tournament was starting, all things being equal, he would beat 6-1, 7-1. We're basically getting that, except he's down 3 shots. But it's fucking Brooks.
Yeah, and yeah. 3 shots in 3rd place.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And I assume on there's no regrouper. Like as of Friday, they'll go off as the leaderboard.
I would think so. Yes, I think they go off as the leaderboard to begin with.
Well,
they have a leaderboard.
It's the thing. I don't know. Can someone be a hero? Like Ricky 66-1. You don't think you can find a good T10 there? Or what's T10? I guess 30 guys. They're not going to give you that, right?
I mean, the each way even this week is top 4 instead of top 5. How far? Where's Ricky at?
I'm seeing 66 on books.
No, like what's
access
he at?
To 1 or even.
No, fuck that. Ricky sucks anyway. He's gonna come back from 10 strokes.
You know what? He's actually, I think, getting married next week, so he's just like chilling. He's just.
Yeah, we still only have the
Ricky didn't even make the President's Cup.
Maybe they won't even take him.
Maybe he says, I don't want to go.
He seems like a guy who would want to go.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
He seems like a guy that would.
Ricky Fowler seems like the guy that if you invited him to a party, he'd show up 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that he got to say hi to everybody when they came in the door.
Sure. No, I love Ricky, and you're right. He might go like dirt biking in Australia for 2 weeks like before. You'd have a lot of fun with it.
Finau missed it too.
Missed it by a spot. Yeah, but he's got nothing to worry about. Tiger even said he's got to talk with the captain and the other teammates to see if they want him to play.
He doesn't want to play.
It'll
you think
be
he
interesting.
Wants to play?
No.
And he's also hosting a tournament the week before.
And I do think they're going to, I hate to say it, I'm starting to think they bring Phil.
Really?
Because Tiger
Is this like last shot Phil?
No, it's Tiger just takes the pulse of the room and everyone wants Phil there, I think. They love Phil.
You don't think that Tiger's mad about the Phil by the what the fuck is things called? Where he interviewed Tiger?
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Fireside?
Yeah. Fireside with Phil and Tiger Woods. Yeah,
no, they could have. They got a reward, I guess, like gamers of today.
This could be the token. Hey, Phil, you're not making the Ryder Cup team next year. Come on along to the President's Cup. We don't care anyway.
I mean, who would they be disrespecting? Think they care to disrespect Kevin Kisner?
No, they don't care about that. They should have brought Kisner to the fucking Ryder Cup. But Phil, yeah. So if Phil goes, let's say Tiger sits it out. You got Phil, Finau, Fowler, and Spieth. Those are the 4 they bring. They're bringing Spieth. You know they are.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
I don't think that's a guarantee.
I would say that he is a minus 250 favorite to be on that team as a captain's pick. When do they have to announce the captain's picks anyway?
Probably not for a while.
Yes.
Tiger says he'll be watching a lot of golf.
Sure, because he's not going to be playing a lot of golf.
No.
I'm sure he'll just be watching more Raiders football than anything. So, do we have a pick? Like, I don't even know if I want to bet this.
Yeah, I think Brooks and Rory, but I don't know if I want to bet them. Actually, I don't. I got nothing to offer. It seems like in a
All right, let's see if we can get these doubles have been hitting. Let's talk Euro.
Hold on though.
Okay.
Can you just, if you give me someone's name, I'll give you their odds they will appear on the books you have access to in this no strokes.
I don't have any idea what you're getting at here.
The books you have access to will post odds for winner of 72 hole stroke play without FedEx Cup advantage.
Okay.
Is there anyone's odd you're curious about in that regard?
Corey Connors.
Scrolling.
Jason Kokrak.
Connors, the best number, they're it's between 60 and 80.
What's Webb?
I'm using odds checker for this, just for point of reference. I'm having a hard time finding Webb. He's very high. 20, 22,
20,
18.
Webb at 20, I think I would be interested in.
Hideki at 18 or 20 do anything for you?
I think Hideki had a shot. He's played this tournament really well, but now that we're back on Bermuda, I like how this sets up for Webb Simpson.
It would be funny for a guy, and I feel like Ben has been doing a lot of writing about the funny things that could have happened, like crazy scenarios where, say, had Answer done X last week, he could have come into this week and actually won, but with his 5 or 6 stroke advantage, and not actually won, but had won the FedEx Cup.
Yeah, he could have won the FedEx Cup without having actually won a
yes,
tournament.
But also a lot of jokes. Wouldn't this be the ultimate event for
Kuchar?
Or even
this is the ultimate Kuchar event.
No, or the ultimate event for Finau to win the 72 hole score
and not win.
That's
true. What's Finau's odds?
Great question.
16?
2022.
Sure.
That seems like a popular odds range. I
don't know how much I want to get into all this stuff. Here's one guy that I could see playing really well. What's Sungjae's odds?
66 seems shorter than you'd want it. 55.
Well, there's only 30 guys.
Yeah, I guess.
But he's the only rookie in this field. Xander won as a rookie 2 years ago.
Kisner might be an interesting one too.
Sure, what's he at?
Between 40 and 60.
Yeah. Sure. I'll take a look at that board when it comes out, but yeah, I guess Kisner and Sungjae would be my two kind of gut calls from the bottom.
Louis has been playing real well. Again, 72 holes. He wouldn't actually have to win the event. So even though it is in North America, he couldn't win.
Louis has appeared at this event one time in the past 5 years. Do you know what his finish was?
I'm shocked to hear he's only been here once.
What do you think his finish was?
Poor.
WD.
Oh, God.
That was a layup. That was an easy answer.
Xander, too. Again, things we'll look at when they come out, but I might pepper some of those 20 to 1s.
All right,
I got no interest in whatever's being offered now.
Okay. Rory is really the only one that I'm looking at, or maybe Webb. 8 to 1 and 20 to 1. But I think if they're offering Webb at 20 to 1 just to win anyway, I probably won't take him 6 strokes back at 20 to 1. Is that what you said he was? He's 20 to 1 right now. Starting at -4.
That's ridiculous.
I'd rather take him at even playing field at 20 to 1.
Odds Checker has it. It's between 18 and 22 on these are all British books that I can't access.
What? I would sacrifice the 2 points bet it at 18 to 1 and just have an even playing field rather than sacrificing the 6 strokes.
And for the record,
what was Brooks to win?
That's what I was going to say, to go back to the point I was making before. Okay, that wouldn't be available anywhere. The highest I'm seeing is 9. But it seems like a lot of 7s and 17 over 2.
So 8.5.
Yeah.
That's not that far off.
Rory is actually the chalk ahead of Justin, 8 to 1.
Oh, really? That's the lowest? Is 8 to 1?
And Justin is 9. But again, some of these, if you know how odds checker work, they're showing you the book with the highest odd, and sometimes that's only accessible to 12 people. Certainly not to most of our viewing audience. So I don't really want to live and die, but they'll give you a decent idea of what they might be when they show up. And I can't imagine the power books like any of them. I know the DK book has it up actually even.
Do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
the odds to win without the FedEx Cup head starts.
Okay. Korn Ferry Tour.
My boy Bo almost showed up.
Your boy Bo came second.
Got his tour card back.
Is that all he needed to do? Was coming
He
second?
tweeted last night he got his card back.
I have no idea. There's 3 events. I have no idea how any of this stuff works. I assume if you win, you automatically get one. Like if you come first or second, do you auto
Seems
get
like it. Like anyone that's win gets it right back. The guy won last week. Zach Blair. Everyone that's winning is happy to get their card back. So it seems like how it works.
So Hovland's the favorite again at 10-1.
Seems like good value.
And then the next closest is last week's winner, Scotty Schaeffler, now at 25-1.
Props to a lot of people. I know Perry
Yeah.
was touting it. Adonis was touting it. I know he's a big Scheffler guy. Those Texas boys.
Yeah, the Texas guys love Scotty
So
Schaeffler.
they'll be happy Scheffler's. So now he can bet him every week next year.
This is correct.
There's a few Scheffler fanboys.
You got Grayson at 33.
Grayson showed some life.
And when you stop hitting on 16-year-olds
So this is one of those
Instagram,
like
you're gonna do a lot better.
elevation courses, though. I'm worried Hovland's not familiar with that sort of thing.
Wouldn't that make him even better?
I have no idea.
Well, he's from Norway.
Brendan Todd got his card back.
If you grow up playing
yeah.
golf in Norway, I think you're okay with like mountain golf.
Done. You're surprised he's not. I guess had he
He's not
gotten
even
his-
money.
No. Well, that too. But
Telling you, Stenson Hovland, the double.
in a perfect world, Hovland would have accomplished what he needed to have accomplished, been eliminated in the FedEx Cup, and been able to play the Scandinavian Masters.
This is correct. That did not happen.
But and now they've changed the rule. But
So looking at past winners of this event, Sang Moon won it last year. Chesson Hadley has won this in the past. They're like ball striker type guys.
I was hoping, I guess we're still a couple weeks away because he said he was going to play in the swing season. I was hoping we might even get like a Graham Dillette getting a warm up, being a Boise guy. Or, sorry, he's Canadian, went to university there.
Yeah, maybe he's not as healthy as
But he
we thought.
does on Twitter. He said he plans to tee it up in the swing season. And props, as I said, interrupted you before to say Brendan Todd apparently secured his card back next year.
It's a great day for Tim Frank. Where's Mike Weir? Why isn't he trying to qualify here?
I don't know how that works.
So I'll probably go with Svensson again. I don't even see where his name is
55 to 1.
on 55-1. So I'll probably take that. How did Kevin Chappell do last week?
I couldn't tell you. Like
He came
99% of us, I was tracking one guy.
He came 62nd.
And do you know what? I actually feel like an idiot because I saw the love for Scheffler.
And just decided.
And I just said, how could Scheffler win if Hovland's winning? That was literally my attitude, like an idiot.
Who else on here? Lahiri's 50-1. Like if we're trying to like fill out, maybe I'll just play
New
like.
line? Does that do anything for you? 50 to 1?
When was the last time I bet Peter Uihlein?
Okay, what about David Lipsky at like 100?
Yeah, why is he at 100?
Because like that guy
He
shows up.
He missed the cut on the Korn Ferry last.
I mean, that guy played in a WGC. Now, granted, maybe scores some like muck points from other parts, but it seems way better than that number.
I'm just trying to figure out good ball strikers. I mean, Scheffler at 25-1 actually isn't a terrible idea.
Like, why is Seamus Power 140?
Because he's not good. Because he had one good round when you talked about him once, and now you think that he does well every week.
Well, no, but I just don't understand Jamie Lovemark at 100.
That's interesting. I have no idea what his health situation is. That would be my only thing. Scheffler miscut first. That's not bad.
What's this event called?
The Boise
No, it
Open.
had a name. It didn't work it for Wyndham Clark, but do you think Andres Albertson could get the
170
Is it the Albertsons Open?
Is that what it's called? I thought that was the Albertsons Boise Open.
Yeah, so there's all that about Wyndham Clark at the Wyndham. If that's your thing, you got to play Andres Albertson. I have no clue, man. Hearn, David, 100 to 1.
Now I want to go with like ball striking type guys. So like I said, if Sang Moon,
Bazzelli.
he's not a ball striker. The guy just
So yeah, Lahiri's a ball striker.
yeah,
You
Lahiri,
said him.
Svensson,
Zach Blair's a little ball striker.
not really.
Well, how else does he play well?
Putts. Sharma. Poor Sharma. 150 to 1. His Masters odds were like 70 to 1.
Curtis Luck, 80?
And he's another guy who just putts. I was going to say Lonto.
Oh my God.
I
Kevin Chappell, 66 to 1.
I said that before. I said that last week he's coming off the injury. He came 62nd last week.
Wiley's boy, Teeter.
Teeter's interesting. What's he at?
66 to 1.
66? I don't hate that. Wasn't Wes Roach like playing really well as of 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, where's he?
He's at 80 to 1.
I just like Harry Higgs.
He missed the cut last week. What about Hickok? Feels like he just kind of pops every now and then.
How's Harris English's ball striking for you?
When was the last time Harris English was any good?
Listen, I'm so invested in Hovland. My entire bankroll for this tournament's on one guy.
So I might
And
just...
now I regret that. I wish I made that bet a little smaller and made a nugget for the double.
Yeah, so I might just bet Hovland at 10 to 1 anyway with you. And then I'll play some doubles probably with Hovland, Svensson, Lahiri, and Grayson. I'll throw to cheat sheet and see what's up with that. Euro, the Scandinavian Masters. This course, 6,900 yards. Nice. So I assume Stenson or Fitzpatrick is going to win. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Paul Waring won last year, if people are curious. Stenson is plus 750. Fitzpatrick is 9 to 1. Noren is 11 to 1. EVR is 12. Pavin is 18. And Joust Loudon, 28 to 1. That's what we're looking at here. Coming in with some fire is Arnis. Came second last week. Pavon came third. EVR came fifth. Other than that, Sam Horsfield came third last week. I don't know if that was in the checks or on the Challenger Tour, but Richard Karlberg, the Swede.
Is McIntyre the kid? The
Rob McIntyre?
Yeah, he's the brick shit house.
He's a big fella.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't understand how Cust isn't 100% behind this guy.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah,
he kind of like half looks like Cust to begin with. He's a lefty.
So yeah, I don't know. That guy, Arnis, Surrey. I don't know what the course requires, though, to be honest.
I said it's a very, very short course that's going to require like accuracy and ball striking.
Noren was finding his game.
Yeah, a little bit.
As the season ended.
Oh, this guy came third last year. I think this is Raza's guy, Maximilian Kiefer. He's way down on the list.
I don't know why Tom Lewis withdrew. Oh, I think he just made like a 12 on the hole and he quit or something.
He's just like, enough of this.
Yeah.
Old Tom Lewis or young Tom Lewis?
Was Minwoo Lee the guy everyone was betting earlier this year?
Oh, I forget. Yeah. Who was that guy?
100 to 1?
I don't know. What's Karlberg odds?
Eduardo Molinari's been in a nice little run of form.
Yeah, he keeps tanking the final round. So Stenson Hovland? Like a Stenson Hovland double pays what? Like 70 to 1?
Yeah, 70, 80 to 1.
That might be the move. Just play some Euro Korn Ferry doubles if you hate the Tour Championship.
I might throw a Noren one in just to be safe.
You'd go Noren over like Joust? Or Arnis?
Well, at that point, I would just bet the guy if I'm betting Arnis.
35 to 1?
Yeah. I don't want to I feel like I'll miss something. Like that's a number.
I'll dig into this a little bit more as the week goes
like
along. I'll read some actual European Tour writers.
If Hovland won, having already bet him, and Stenson didn't, like I don't feel like I'm not betting. What am I trying to say? Like if Stenson wins, you're not missing it. Like it's 7 to 1. Like you're not missing a big score.
Should I just take every cent that I have, like that I was going to invest this week, and just bet on Hovland?
That is kind of what I did this morning. And I'm not going to lie. If he loses this one, I've got to go next week. And if he won next week, and let's say it was also 10 to 1, I might just be, I would be above even, but not nearly enough.
Is there a chance that he's Andrew Kirst and doesn't end up with his PGA Tour card? Could you imagine?
No, he doesn't have to do much.
Could you imagine if that was the case?
Then next year I'm betting Hovland at 6 to 1 in Korn Ferry for like 5 months.
Oh, Tani Hara's in this Euro field? 250 to 1? Guy loves cigs. Might be bad for the elevation, for the lung capacity. I don't know. That's it. I saw that you threw it to Twitter for questions.
Yeah, take some. Let's see.
Was there? I mean,
hold on. Bodog got back to me.
let's just name all the different books that we're not supposed to mention on the show.
Oh.
Somehow you forget that every week and just yell them out.
Oh, they. Oh, never mind.
What?
I thought they posted odds for something, but that's just a major next year.
So they don't have it.
These clowns. Okay, yeah. I'll stop wasting time. Yeah, let's see these questions.
So one question and answer period on the season finale of the golf show. We have like 12 minutes we can dedicate to this because then we have to set up for NFC win totals, the show.
I've got to remember where I posted it.
To Twitter.
Yeah, but I got to get... I rarely go to my... Do you ever go to like your page?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
got them.
Oh, you got them?
Yeah.
You're gonna see you're getting sighs from behind the camera from Paul.
No, I'm sorry.
It is a worse finale than Game of Thrones.
No, well, this tournament sucks. And you see the guy who wrote Game of Thrones is complaining?
About what?
The finish?
That's funny.
He didn't give him a book.
George R.R. Martin says Game of Thrones TV series wasn't good for his books. That's the first thing that just popped
Was it
up.
good for his wallet, stupid idiot?
I mean, he's spending it all to sit next to Postmaster Ted at fucking Jets games. So
I mean,
he's putting it to very poor use.
He's spending it all for new sweatpants with suspenders. Okay, from Mike Miller.
Okay.
Who wins a major first? The newbie team of Morikawa, Wolf, or Hovland, or the mature team of Ricky, Casey, Cooch? I don't really like that team other than Ricky's, so I gotta say I'll take the three.
I think it's the three young guys.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, their games are... I don't want to say substantially better, but they're longer, they're more powerful. And I think all three of them have a bit different types of games, to tell you the truth. And if we look at, how many major winners are there between the ages of 20 and 40 or 40 and over? I mean, Ricky is really the only one. I guess, what's Kuchar's best chance to win a major from here on out?
An open championship at like a course that
Yeah.
is tough weather, but it doesn't require bomber. It requires...
Or he has the putting the putting weekend of his life at the Masters. Just because he's played well at the Masters over the years, and we just saw Tiger win there, who's ancient.
Yeah.
Like old guys can win at the Masters.
I
So it's a
know.
Masters or it's a British Open. But I would take the team. I mean, Victor Hovland might even have his PGA Tour card.
No,
Still
I just
giving
take
it
the
to him.
young guys. Although, if I had to pick who would win one first of all six of them, I'd still pick Ricky.
Of course you would. You'd be wrong.
Of course I would. No, you don't want to join someone's season-long league.
No,
We're gonna do that.
I can assure you I do not want to join
From
anyone's
EP,
fantasy.
I think I addressed this in the open, but what's it like being on a heater with the season coming to an end? Oh, that's fine. I'm happy. It's over. I'm out.
Anytime you can be on a heater is a good time to be on a heater.
I'm only mad that this week, like, I'm seeing the board clear. So I wish, like, it could be like a full normal tournament, even 140 guys. Like, I'd like that. But that's whatever. What changes would you make to the playoffs, if any? I don't know. We talked about that. Will there be a PME Open? No, we spoke about it. Chargers Radio. We're about to record football shows all week. Don't worry.
I got a full fantasy football draft show kit that's out. Like, if people haven't been watching the fantasy football,
Someone
shows, which
3
is
hours ago asked me how excited I am about the possibility of the Chargers D.
Yeah, well, I don't care about the Charger stuff. It's a golf Q&A.
Okay.
Can you parse these instead of just reading them all out loud? Would you like me to go through it?
Who's the swing season poacher this year? Kuchar again to CH3 recoup some. I'm not sure because I think Houston and Greenbrier might bring out stronger fields.
Maybe, but it's not like the other tournaments
swing
are off
season
the card. But
is-
we saw last year, like the vets started doing really
One
well.
of two things happens in swing season. Either the very top of the board wins, or you get like a guy, like the best kids or the best older guys or some like complete long shot.
I think that Hovland might pick up a win if he gets his card. Griot seems like he's primed for a win, and his only win ever was in the swing season.
Can you guys recap your outrights? No. I could think about it. I would need the schedule.
I have like 3, so not great. And they all came within a 6-week period.
Have you seen
12 months ago?
Have you seen one shot change a player's season the way Molinari's did at Augusta? He went from leading the Masters to not contending the rest of the year.
I can't think of any specific examples of that. I can think of the other way around when Bill Haas hit that ball out of the water at Eastlake to win the FedEx Cup.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't want to pick on Molinari. I will say from people that like are maybe closer to inside than I am seem to acknowledge that I guess a lot of the checks started to come in from the last year, and him and his family are really enjoying him personally
being very wealthy.
Yeah, they just enjoying life. I think they just had another kid. Like, it's just a different. He's just when he's not golfing, he's not golfing. He's not like a young guy that's like grinding and getting better. His time away is away. He even said last year he didn't pick up a club after the Ryder Cup till he got to Hawaii or whatever event he played. So
and then he took off like another 6 weeks and showed up at WGC Mexico. The big thing with Molinari this year, obviously, the Bay
Hill was amazing, right?
Yeah,
that Sunday.
and he got a win.
Yeah,
but after that, it's not like the ball striking fell off a cliff. He was still fine.
Putting what?
It's putting. He went back to being Molinari from every other year of his career.
He was still like putting for birdie from 18 feet like all year. They just and 7 of them weren't dropping a day.
But he went through a 2-month stretch last year when he won 3 times, and every 10-footer he had for par, he made.
How about next year's majors? Any futures or stuff like that?
No.
I've made the one bet. It's kind of going around. Bodog is still posting the 40 on Cantley to win the Masters.
Cantley's not winning the Masters.
I'm in on that.
I'll bet Bryson at 100 next year at the Masters. Everyone's off of Bryson. Bryson will get a win in the swing season. You watch.
Can you outline how you set your betting card, i.e. bet size percentage? Okay, I feel like go through this once a month. I'll quickly say for me, I am trying to win X. Like my winning tickets, like pay X.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to that. And then within that construct, maybe trying to bet as many guys as I can in the allotment that I give myself for that tournament. Majors, I'll bet more. Sometimes I'll be like, this is muck. I'm like lowering my exposure. But my winning tickets, all, even if it's a 16-1 or like a 70-1,
they pay out the same.
They for the most part will pay out the same.
I'm basically the same way, but I don't follow all. I'm bad at gambling, so I get very I'll throw an extra $5 on that one.
And I'm not.
Everyone does it.
And that's
why we're not professional gamblers.
And I envy at some people's discipline that I don't have.
But like I have separate bankrolls for first round leaders and outright winners. Like I try to invest $100 every week in first round leaders, depending on how many that I play, and throw in because I do the each ways in the well, so they're double bets. But that's a separate bankroll that what I consider to be like my outright or top 10 or top 5, whatever. And we don't play a ton of head to heads. No. Which realistically we should do. Those are the better bets on the floor. Top 20s and head-to-heads are the 2 best bets you can make.
The most disciplined...
But they don't pay 150 to 1.
The most disciplined bettors that I know personally that like really do it. And again, sometimes I go back and forth with these guys that like live and die by half a point when like so few games are like decided by half a point. That I feel like you like a game, but you're not going to bet it because of half a point. But again, they're methodical and take half a point and make it like 10 cents on a line. Anyway, the guys that I know that are like the smartest, they have kind of have passed on the outrights, acknowledging how the variance to winning and coming in third is sometimes so narrow, but they feel like...
Not only that is you're getting grifted on the outright odds versus
never fair.
They're never
Even
fair.
to bet Brooks Koepka, he wins, it should still be like 17-1.
Yeah.
This guy just beat 150 guys. He's still human. When you hit the 120-1, he should be 350-1. Like real odds.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're smart enough to know they're never getting fair. Essentially what we say about like Tiger and Ricky is actually everybody to these people. Anyway, I'm long-winded. They head-to-heads. Their model, that's where they hammer like 5 or 6 or 10 like that.
Whatever stands out as an advantage. Like it could be 1 week, it could be 12 the next week, as long as that there is a distinct
their power
clear,
bets are golf head-to-heads, and they are finding, at least what they're telling me, it's sort of like betting a Saturday in college football or basketball when there's like 150 schools and there's like 70 games. You know, in the NFL, there's 16 games. They're hoping to find 1 or 2 gems.
And they're probably, and the NFL lines are going to be a lot sharper than the MAC.
Yeah.
7th power game.
Or speaking of Mackenzie Hughes versus
whoever.
Yeah, give me Russell Henley, right? So they can find that there. Break down your...
One second. The other thing that I'd want to throw into that is that the reason that you and I bet outrights is because, one, This is just pure entertainment for us. Yeah. If I bet on a 70-1 guy, I can root for a 70-1 guy. And then I get paid out 70 times my bet. And this is, like I said, it's an entertainment fund. Like some people go to the movies on weekends. I bet on golf and watch golf at home.
And then I do.
That's the investment.
And then I do absolutely nothing else when I'm cold AF like I was around April and March and was in a real bad place. So bless any heater.
And the one big thing, too, is if you only bet outrights, and I know I do the first round leaders and some top 20 sometimes, but if you do those, then you have to be able to put up with a 4-month cold streak because you hit an 80-1. Like Kevin Na won me 5 months worth of bets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even Tiger Woods in that comment I was looking for before, but I don't want to go back and find it because then I'll lose the questions. Tiger Woods essentially said this week, he was quoted as saying, everyone out here is looking to get like hot for a month. And you just crush that driver and you hope to get hot for a month with your other clubs. And that's what you do. That's where you make all your money. That's how you get in the Tour Championship. That's how you get in every event. You have one hot month, you're freaking gold. And that's why Rory's almost like the opposite. He had such a consistent year of like 5th place every week. And we acknowledge that we see the missed opportunities more.
Yeah, that gets weighted against him rather than him missing 5 cuts in a row.
Exactly. Rory Sundays.
He can't close. Yeah.
Winning's hard, but he was there so many times. How nervous you, Tim likes the Chargers. It's already backfired. Can Jason Day bounce back next year as he run out of supply of magic beans? I always felt talent for talent. Jordan had them. I don't even want to get into a Jordan thing, so I'll ignore that. Although Day did have a collection of beans because he could say par from almost anywhere.
I would say that Jason Day's magic bean run was
bigger than Jordan's.
Yeah.
Well, fine.
Like Jordan had magic beans.
I know, but he ball striked the hell out of it.
And so did Day when he was fired too. But at least Jordan for like 2.5 years. Like Day has been really good for a while, but that run that he had for like 3 months was like what Molinari did last year.
Fair.
And then he's never going to get back to that level.
Perennial underachiever at this point. I don't know, because we all thought he'd have a handful of them. I'll say this, have your shot, that I went to look last night. When a player is playing god-awful, the futures odds do not say, we'll now bump him up.
Well, they don't,
but if a player is playing well who sucks, they'll be like, we'll give you want to bet Cameron Champ to win the Masters? 40-1. But they won't take Jason Day and take him off his like 25 or 30 and say he's 50 now. And I can hope that he's got 7 months, 9 months, whatever it is to find Jason Day again.
Yeah, and the big part about that is no one rushes to the futures boards 10 months out to bet a guy to see if he's a great value. They want to bet on a guy because they're like, oh my God, he's playing great. So
and they're not rushing to like, oh yeah, we'll take, no, they know that like the Masters is in 9 months and Jason Day, we're not like dumb enough to make him a 60-1 golfer yet.
Yeah, maybe week of he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll get a couple more in. Break down your golf match on Friday and your PGA Tour equivalents. I have none.
You played much better than I did.
I'd say for me, it ended when I found out about the Derwin James injury. That ended. I think I made maxes. I play fine. I played with you a few years ago. I think you could see I've distinctly improved. I've worked
gotten
on
a lot
it.
better, yeah.
I can get to the green side in 2. It'll take me 4 to come home. Sometimes I'll get lucky, but I'm playing fine. You've got a mean game that like I can sense when you're
when I'm playing well, I play really well, but you can see how it goes off the rails.
Well, yeah, because it's so like violent and vicious, like off the tee. Like you just let it all.
I try to crush
and
every
you
shot.
And sometimes it flies, and other times it goes OB, but it's like a fine line. And I get like, the one thing I sympathize is because if I don't have like my clubs, I suck.
Yeah,
I'm still embarrassed by how I played in Florida a few years ago with Baroff with his brother's clubs. I literally still shook. I can't wait to get back to Florida to show Baroff I'm not that bad. I can actually like do this sport.
The clubs that you gave me to use, because my clubs are actually back at home. I don't have any in Toronto with me because I do most of my playing on the East Coast and rarely here. So thank you again for inviting me. Great course, by the way.
It's beautiful.
If people want to have like a PGA Tour comparison, I compare it to like Colonial.
It's an old school tree-lined golf course.
Tree-lined, but it also...
Tough greens, but if you're good, you can like go.
A lot of elevation.
Yeah.
I was surprised by it, but I could not hit any of those wedges. Like if I was 60 yards from the green, I was either hitting it 4 feet in front of me or 60 yards past.
But that's also a thing like wedges are like feel.
True, but I feel like if I had my wedges, it would have been easier for me.
Yeah, but like
I know from 90 away. Here's the club that I always use.
like
That's
for
my
example,
club.
you had like some hybrids that are way better than mine, and I'm hitting mine well right now, but I want an upgrade. But I know my numbers, and I'm like, if I hit that, like I could sail it 3. I could sail
I
it like
crushed
20.
that 5-iron. In
Yeah,
your
like
hand.
I could sail it like forever because I feel like this club has like brand new technology in it that my dumpsters don't. But okay, and I don't have any PGA Tour equivalent. That I don't even know. I've never even thought about.
Someone actually put this out the other day. It was like a poll. Like, if you were on the PGA Tour, just you playing right now, what would be like the part of your game where you weren't the worst compared to the field, like in strokes gained? The answer would have to be putting, right? Because maybe you could luck into a good putting round. Because otherwise, you're just going to be a disaster versus everyone. Like, if it's going to come down to driving, no is the answer. If it's irons, the answer is no. If it's short game, the answer is no. Maybe you can make a few putts. That's like a 1% chance.
No,
that you could be like
in everything.
Maybe you have to pick one.
Because even my lag.
I think by odds, you could get lucky enough at putting that maybe if you make 180 footer somehow, then all of a sudden your strokes game putting looks a lot better.
Sure, that's insane.
One more.
Oh damn. Okay. No, okay. Okay, good. So we're almost done. Outside the scope for this week, but I'd love to hear a narrative show where you go through maybe 50 players.
We do not
the
have time for
dominant
that
narratives
today.
that precede them into turn. That's just me. That would just be me taking my minor in psychology and applying it to things I know absolutely nothing about. Unless I misread that.
I think that what he's trying to get at is it's the same thing I always say every year that I want to do like a top 100 players fantasy football countdown show, but I don't have the time to do that. Like we do a show every day. Like to do like some of these super shows, especially one like that, would take so much planning. When do you have the time to film it? Like that would be a really good over the Christmas show. Maybe we break it into 3 parts and we just go over the top 50 players and we do 5 minutes on each player. I think that's what he's talking about. Like, what does this guy need to do? What do we expect from this player? I think that's what he's getting at.
How many people will end up splitting the prize for the $5 drive the green?
No idea. No idea how DraftKings.
And someone wants a new intro song, but I don't want to tell you their name because I don't want you to ban them. But they say nothing but nice things about the show.
Well, that's great. Yeah, listen, if people want to make a new intro with graphics and send it to me for free
Okay.
and then give me complete ownership of it with no reprisal, then hey, I'm all in. Send them over.
Well,
PatMayoExperience@gmail.com.
Well, then I'll read the whole thing. Love the PME and all the guests. You guys have made my daily DFS hobby affordable. My turn to help you guys. The show needs a new opening. Current one doesn't fit the vibe attitude of the show. I'm sure with all the followers, someone could cut you a kick-ass opening. So,
Well, listen,
but you made the thing that they get nothing for it, and you own it.
you might win a draw for 20 DK bucks. If it's good enough and I end up using it. Intros are tough, man. Like graphics it's the one thing, like Paul's really good at them, but like even like moving graphics and finding the time to actually like sit down and like when I had my old open, when it was the Pat Mayo hour and it was like Pat Mayo hour, like to find that song took me, I don't know, 3 weeks of going through like 500 songs. And I actually took a song and clipped it from 2 different parts of the song together. So it would hit at a certain time. Like at Fantasy, I had that kind of time because I wasn't married. I wasn't dating anyone. I didn't have a kid. Now, like I don't get stoned on my couch for 5 hours at night and like listen to free music and try to piece stuff together. But I know a lot of people who watch the show do. So if you do have it out there, listen, I'm all game for it. If people want to create a new intro. So I like that question. I think that's a good one to end on.
All right.
Sorry we didn't talk more about the Tour Championship.
I don't know what there is to say. There's 30 golfers. You're familiar with. If you're watching this show, what can I tell you?
Geoff Fienberg. Follow him on Twitter at gfienberg17. Instagram, gfienberg17.
You have a one and done?
No. Is the one and done even running?
I think it has to be.
You can't catch me.
Well, I haven't entered for like 3 weeks.
No, but like just with our picks, like tabulated.
Okay, fine. And Spieth can't get a win this season.
Well, he still has like 7 events.
Wait, no, it's over, is it not?
No, we bet the year, didn't we? I thought we did. We made the bet in January.
I don't know. Someone's got to find that tape.
If someone finds the tape, listen, if that's the case, then we split. We're even.
I thought it
if
was
not,
like...
Spieth at the Safeway, pal.
Because, like, I have such a curmudgeon with the guy, I will say he won't win, even though I actually do feel like that's got to break.
Winner, Jordan Spieth.
I'm upset I thought it would have been like through.
I honestly
year
don't
of-
know.
of
Listen, if
real
you want to end it,
players.
we'll end it right now.
That's why I was almost like the Wyndham was the last like chance.
Then there we are. We broke even on our preseason golf bets.
Yeah, because I should have bet Fratelli versus Spieth too.
You should have. I gave you that option.
Yeah, but I wanted Fratelli. I know. I know. Longhorns golf. Was Scheffler a Longhorn or just from
I think
Texas?
he's just from Texas. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching this season of the Pat Mayo Experience Golf Pick Show. I will return tomorrow for Golf with Rick Gaiman to break down the DraftKings side of things. And during the swing season, you can still check me out on PGAtour.com doing their videos. And I still will be doing a DraftKings show for every golf event on the Pat Mayo Experience. So remember, just tune in. I got you golf covered. And the swing season's actually a great time to make some cash. That's actually where I went on a heater last year, was through the swing season. The prize pools aren't quite as big on DraftKings, but they are much easier to win because you have all these jabronis who are just looking to get some action on a Thursday. They're trying to play NFL and like throwing contests into golf. This is where Fantasy National really comes in handy to find these under the radar guys for the swing season. Swear to God. So get an annual membership to fantasynational.com right now, and it gets you right through to the end of Tour Championship next season. It's a pretty good deal. I recommend you go do it. You should be using it if you're serious and playing more than like $3 a week, gambling or on DraftKings. All right? I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being with us. Hope you won some cash, but most of all, I hope you had some laughs. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!